Okay, I am attempting to try to show you how I cut things out of foam. Now in this case I used the dies. I don't have the particular nomenclature on these particular dies, but I cut these with the Big Shot machine. And I ended up with a foam. I used the Dollar Tree foam. It's quite thin and cuts beautifully with the dies. I put packing tape on the back of these pieces so that I could use these as foam impressions in my clay work, pottery work. Would work with other clay. But you can see the shiny packing tape on the back, which actually holds in all of the small bits, otherwise they would just fall out. And this creates a raised image in clay, which is what I prefer over an indented image. If I used the reverse of this, which also I put packing tape on, I would end up with a stamped image or an impressed image into the clay. But what I want to do is use this impressed image that as a stamp, a rubber stamp. I just did one. In fact, this is the stamp that resulted, which is pretty good. I used the Misti, and I actually had to ink it up probably 3 or 4 times, but because of the Misti I got perfect placement, and it created quite a lovely stamp. Let me see if I can find it. Well, I've put it somewhere else. At any rate, I thought I'd do it again. But the key here, what I've done, and maybe there's another better way, but this is what I've done, is I use the packing tape on the back just so I can have something to hang on to. And on the shiny side, you can't see it now, maybe you can, I squeezed a little bit of Elaine's Tack It Over and Over. I use this stuff for so many things, particularly gold foil, and so I have them in a fine line applicator bottle. So what I did is on the shiny side of the tape, I squeezed out a little bit. And of course when it dries, it's perfectly clear, so you really cannot tell too much. But it's tacky and sticky, which means it will stick to the Misti cover when I want to stamp it. So what I've done though is take a little paintbrush, and on the part of the tape that would be sticky, and you can see the foggy stuff, I use baby powder or cornstarch so that it wouldn't stick to the paper that I want to use. So here it is. Here's the one stamped image, and I'm going to use another one. I'm going to use the same paper. I'm going to use the wonderful magnets, and then I'm going to decide where I want it, which would be here. I don't know why this camera is taking things sideways, but it's definitely putting me off here. Alright, so because the Elaine's Tack It Over and Over is dry, when I put the thing back on there, it holds it just as if it had another image. I mean another, so then I will ink it up. In this case I'm going to use, let's see, Memento Morocco. Now because I haven't inked this one up before, it's probably going to take several tries, but you can see it works. So here we go. I'm going to press it down, hold it probably for a few minutes or a few seconds, and there's the image. Oh, looks like I missed a few spots, but of course with the Misti you get another shot at it. And so I'm going to ink up this image again, quite a good amount of ink this time, and give it another go. Press it, hold it. And voila! That's a pretty nice little image for a stamp coming from foam. Now I did use, as I said, the die cuts, and you can make stamps out of all of these die cuts or any die cut that you have. You don't have to go out and buy stamps. You could do the same thing with anything you might cut on a digital cutter. I have a Silhouette Cameo, and had I cut the foam, which this Dollar Tree foam I cut all of the time, on the Cameo, because I have tons of them, you can get a lot of use from a very inexpensive material. This comes in, I forget how many packages. They're 4 by 6 inch sheets of different colored foam. I use them for everything, but they cut beautifully both with the dies, the Big Shot dies, but you can see I ended up with some pretty neat stamped images. So one does not need to. Now you just need to have a little bit of, there's probably other ways. Now I have the tape on there in the back of there just so I can handle this, and by pulling it off it stays tacky on the back so I can use it again. And what I do is I use a document protector, polypropylene document protection. Just stick it right on there, and these are ready to go in case I want to use them again. So these are the polypropylene document protectors, but things don't stick to them permanently, which is really nice. So you can lift it off and use it again, but the Aleene's tack it over and over will keep it tacky on the opposite side, so I can use it. I could clean off the stamps, but I probably won't. I think they'll probably be preserved a little bit better if I don't. So in this case, I'm just going to leave them the way they are.